Hello, in this video I'm gonna tell you the differences between Apple Watch Ultra 3 and Apple Watch Ultra 2. So there are 7 most important differences, and some of them are more important, some of them are less important, but they are for sure improvements. So let's talk about the display first. In the display we do have two new things. Of course, both generations had always on retina display and a 49mm titanium case. They also both have 3000 nits peak brightness, but what's new is first of all wide angle OLED, which basically allows you for better viewing angles on your Apple Watch. Of course, I think that the previous one were also really great, but this is an improvement, and for sure you'll appreciate it, especially while doing some sports. Maybe not always. You can look at the watch, straight into it, so it'll be better. Especially what counts is the brightness. The brightness, like in different viewing angles, should be still good enough. And now let's move on to the other thing about the display, which is LTPO3. LTPO technology allows your watch to minimize the refresh rate, to lower its refresh rate, to save the battery. And LTPO is used mainly for always on display. So like now, currently, you can see my watch is always on. When I tap on it, it turns into the full display. You can see it has a higher refresh rate. The seconds are smoothly changing. Everything is very smooth, but after several seconds it'll go to that always on mode, which uses less power. And LTPO3, what's the difference between LTPO3 and LTPO2? Basically it's just better technology with also better viewing angles and better battery efficiency. So that's really great. And let's move on to some connectivity things, because we have two new things about the connectivity. First of all, Apple Watch Series Ultra 3 supports emergency SOS via satellite. So it has a satellite connection. Apple in its devices, like iPhones, for example, has been introducing this satellite connection. So when you don't have any connection at all with your GSM network, you can connect it to satellite, and that will let you contact either emergency numbers or emergency contacts that you have saved to send them a message that something's not right, and tell them about that. So that is a really good feature. Now another one is 5G, and yes, the previous generation did not have 5G. It had just LTE. Now the Ultra 3 has 5G. So when you install an eSIM into the cellular version of the device, then it will support 5G for higher speeds. And also it's better not only because of the internet speeds, because not always do you need those internet speeds, but also LTE is sort of going bad for a few years already, and it's not really as reliable as it used to be. So being able to connect to 5G is a really, really good thing. Now, things about the battery, and before that, the chip. Of course, Apple changes the processor, the CPU inside of the device. So the previous one was S9 chip, now it is S10. It's most likely faster, but There's not many noticeable differences here, but it may be more power efficient, and we'll learn about that in the section about the battery, which I'm going into right now. The previous duration held up to 36 hours of standard usage, of like normal usage, and 72 in lower power mode. Now it holds 42 hours in standard usage and 72 hours, so the same in low power mode, which indicates that it's not the battery that has changed, rather the chip being more power efficient or the display being more power efficient because of the LTPO 3. So these are very important changes because that's more battery, 6 hours more battery on a single charge, of course, of normal usage, because if you're working out a lot, then it's gonna be a bit less than 42 hours. And now the last change is the fast charge. Of course, both models were fast charge capable, but the Ultra 2 had 0 to 80% in about 1 hour. What it means, why does Apple not say 0 to 100%? It's because Apple really rapidly changes the speed of charging when it reaches those 80%. So it charges way slower after reaching 80% to preserve the battery longevity. So 0 to 80% is in about 1 hour on Ultra 2, and 0 to 80% is in about 45 minutes on Ultra 3. So that is about like 30% faster, I guess. And also they tell you that it's 15 minutes of charge for up to 12 hours of standard usage. That sounds like a weird measure, but yeah, also like the first 15 minutes of charging are gonna charge the fastest, and they are gonna allow you up to 12 hours of standard usage. So these are all the differences between most important differences between Ultra 2 and Ultra 3, and I hope that this video explained everything, and I hope that you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.